My family has been farming this land for generations. It's a working farm and we take pride in it. But over the last decade, a new, fancy housing colony sprung up on the edge of the farm, and with it came the HOA, Homeowners Association. They have their mini mansions and their bizarre rules. We have nothing to do with them, as our land is outside the HOA's jurisdiction. Yet we receive weekly complaint letters from them, sometimes for the unsightly appearance of our barn, and sometimes for the visual pollution caused by the tractor. The day of the harvest and Karen's rage. This time, the complaints escalated into a physical confrontation. It was corn harvest season. I was slowly working the field in our massive green tractor with a huge corn harvester attachment. It's a slow, necessary job. At one point, I was driving along the public road that borders the HOA's fence line. Suddenly, I saw a shiny black SUV pull up right by the fence. The driver was the woman everyone called Karen, a notorious HOA board member known for her stunts. She was screaming at my tractor, "What is this noise? You are disrupting the peace of our neighborhood! And this filthy tractor, you are ruining our property values." I opened the window and called out, "Ma'am, I am working on my own land. It is harvest time." She ignored me, her face flushed with fury. She quickly pulled out her phone and started threatening me. "If you don't move this machinery immediately, I will call the police and charge you with property damage." I just shook my head and slowly advanced the tractor to continue the harvest. The collision and the counterattack. Then, the unbelievable happened. In a fit of pure rage, Karen accelerated her SUV and deliberately slammed it into the massive rear tire and fender of my tractor. The collision wasn't hard enough to damage the tractor, but the noise was loud. My harvester sustained a minor scratch. I immediately hit the brakes and climbed down. Karen also jumped out of her SUV, hyperventilating. The front end of her car had a large dent, and the headlight was smashed. She instantly started shrieking, "See? You hit my car! I will ruin you! Call the police!" I took a deep breath, pulled my phone from my jacket pocket, and said calmly, "Absolutely. That is exactly what I was about to do." I dialed 911 and informed them. "A woman has intentionally struck my agricultural equipment with her vehicle while I was working on my private farmland. We need an officer." Karen also made her frantic call. When the police arrived, a county sheriff's deputy arrived within minutes. He calmed both parties down. Karen immediately began her complaint. "Officer, this man was illegally operating a huge, ugly tractor near my property. When I tried to stop him, he deliberately struck my car. Look, my headlight is broken." The sheriff looked at me. I handed him my farm deeds, proving that my farm was not subject to the HOA. I also pointed out that I was operating on a public road for harvest, which is entirely legal in an agricultural zone. Most importantly, I showed him the dashcam footage from my tractor. The dashcam clearly showed Karen screaming, my tractor moving slowly in a straight line, Karen herself steering her SUV into the side of my tractor. The sheriff watched the footage, then looked at Karen, whose face had gone white. The sheriff said, "Ma'am, the video is clear. You deliberately drove your vehicle into the farmer's tractor. This constitutes intentional property damage and possibly reckless endangerment on a public road." Karen protested. But this is an HOA area. His tractor is devaluing our homes." The sheriff simply stated, "Ma'am, you are living next to an active farming operation. That is your HOA's problem, not mine. Now, you either provide the farmer with your insurance details for damaging his equipment and for your own reckless driving, or I will have your vehicle towed and take you to the station." Karen had to pay the fine. Her insurance covered my minor scratch, and most importantly, her complaint went nowhere. The next day, the harvesting continued as usual. And this time, there were no letters from the HOA.